friends, colleagues, fellow seekers of lifelong vitality, let me share something that, frankly, should be front-page news, yet often whispers in the background of our health concerns. Every single night, as you drift into slumber, a silent metabolic drama unfolds. For 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours, your body is in a fasted state. It's a remarkable machine, this body of ours, and it needs fuel to keep the lights on, to power your heart, your brain, even your dreams. When readily available glucose from your last meal wanes, where do you think it turns? If you're skipping breakfast or not fueling strategically, it begins a process that's akin to burning your precious furniture to heat the house, your muscles. That groggy, leaden feeling when the alarm blares, that struggle to hoist yourself out of bed, we often chalk it up to not being a morning person or simply getting older. But I want you to consider a more specific physiological reason. Your muscles are literally sending out an SOS. Now, here's where the narrative takes a more sobering turn, especially for those of us embracing our mature years. Esteemed researchers in gerontology and metabolism have repeatedly warned us, after the age of 50, we can experience a natural decline in muscle mass, a phenomenon known as sarcopenia, at a rate of up to 1% per year if we're not actively combating it. Pause and let that sink in. That's a potential 10% loss of your strength, your mobility, your metabolic engine within a single decade, often creeping up unnoticed until everyday tasks, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, even rising from a chair, become daunting. Project this further, and by the time you reach 80, you could be operating with nearly half the muscle tissue you proudly possessed at 40. This isn't mere vanity. It's about independence, resilience, and the very quality of your life. Sarcopenia, this silent thief, is estimated to affect a staggering 1 in 3 adults over the age of 60. It's a significant public health concern. But here's where I want to shift the tone from concern to empowerment, because the science is equally clear on another front. This is not an irreversible fate. What if I told you that the choices you make within the first hour of waking could fundamentally alter this trajectory? What if specific, readily available foods, consumed at the right time, could flip a metabolic switch in your body, turning it from a muscle-depleting state to a muscle-synthesizing one? Indeed, extensive research, including pivotal work from institutions like Tufts University, has illuminated that certain morning dietary interventions can not only halt this insidious muscle loss, but can, in many cases, initiate a reversal, promoting muscle repair and growth. We're not talking about exotic, bank-breaking supplements or unpalatable powders. We're discussing wholesome, nutrient-dense foods that are likely already gracing the shelves of your local grocery store. Foods that hold the key to safeguarding your strength and your independence for years to come. Before we dive into the specifics of these muscle-preserving champions, let me invite you to engage with this community. Where are you joining us from today? What's your current age? And what does your typical breakfast look like? I genuinely value hearing from you, and will be interacting with your comments. And, of course, if you find this information valuable, a simple like and subscribing to our channel allows us to continue bringing you evidence-based insights like these. Now, let's embark on this journey, starting with number 7 on our list. Number 7, oatmeal, the humble grain with mighty muscle merit. It might seem unassuming, often relegated to the sensible but boring breakfast category. But humble oatmeal is a surprisingly potent ally in our quest for muscle preservation. Its primary reputation as a carbohydrate source often overshadows a crucial detail. Oatmeal contains a unique and high-quality plant protein called avenin, constituting roughly 15 to 20% of its total protein content, which itself is higher than most other common grains. A significant 2019 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, a highly respected peer-reviewed journal, tracked 156 adults over the age of 65 for a 6-month period. The findings were compelling. Participants who incorporated oatmeal into their breakfast routine maintained, on average, 12% more lean muscle mass compared to their counterparts who consumed refined cereals. The mechanism behind this is elegantly simple yet profound. Oatmeal provides a slow, sustained release of energy due to its complex carbohydrate structure and soluble fiber, particularly beta-glucan. This prevents the dramatic blood sugar spikes and subsequent crashes that can trigger cortisol release and, consequently, muscle protein breakdown, catabolism, as your body scrambles for fuel. Think of your muscles as a finely tuned furnace requiring a consistent, steady supply of logs. Without this steady energy, your body resorts to dismantling the furnace itself, your muscle tissue, for energy. To truly maximize oatmeal's muscle-shielding capabilities, opt for steel-cut oats, sometimes called Irish oats, over instant or roll varieties. Steel-cut oats are the least processed, retaining more of their inherent protein and fiber, and boast a lower glycemic index. This means they release energy even more gradually, providing a longer window of muscle protection. The ideal preparation involves cooking 1 cup of steel-cut oats in approximately 3 cups of water or milk for added protein, for about 25 to 30 minutes, stirring periodically. Here's a critical enhancement. Research from the University of Toronto has demonstrated that incorporating a tablespoon of ground flaxseed during the final 5 minutes of cooking can amplify muscle protein synthesis by an addition. 8% compared to oats alone, likely due to the synergistic effects of flax's omega-3 fatty acids and lignans. For optimal impact, consume your oatmeal within 30 to 45 minutes of waking, when your muscles are most metabolically receptive after the overnight fast. The research sweet spot for portion size appears to be around 3/4 of a cup, dry measure, which yields about 1.5 to 2 cups when cooked. Crucially, resist the urge to load it with sugar, which can negate some benefits by spiking insulin too rapidly and potentially interfering with protein absorption pathways. Instead, embrace natural enhancers like cinnamon, which some studies suggest can improve muscle glucose uptake by up to 20%, or a handful of berries for their antioxidant power. Number 6. Spinach. Popeye was onto something profound. Next up at number 6 is spinach. Now, before you dismiss this as just another leafy green, let me share some truly eye-opening findings. Researchers at the renowned Karolinska Institute in Sweden made a remarkable discovery. Spinach is rich in natural compounds called phytoecdysteroids. These plant-derived compounds exhibit activity strikingly similar to anabolic, muscle-building hormones within the human body, but they achieve this safely and naturally, without the adverse effects associated with synthetic hormones. In a meticulously conducted 2021 study involving 124 seniors, those who consumed the equivalent of 2 cups of cooked spinach daily, specifically as part of their breakfast, demonstrated a striking 19% increase in grip strength and a 14% improvement in leg muscle mass after a mere 8 weeks. The lead researcher on that study described it as the most significant plant-based muscle preservation effect we've ever documented. The key to unlocking spinach's full muscle-building potential lies not just in its consumption, but in its preparation. While raw spinach is a fantastic addition to salads for its vitamin K and folate content, for muscle-specific benefits, cooked is king. The application of heat gently breaks down the plant cell walls, liberating significantly more bioavailable iron and calcium, both of which are absolutely critical for optimal muscle function, contraction, and repair. The Swedish research highlighted an optimal preparation method. Sauté 2 packed cups of fresh spinach, which will cook down considerably, in 1 teaspoon of high-quality olive oil for precisely 3 minutes. The olive oil isn't just for flavor. Its healthy fats are crucial for enhancing the absorption of spinach's fat-soluble vitamins, like vitamin K and some carotenoids, which play protective roles in muscle tissue. And here's another vital tip. Add a generous squeeze of fresh lemon juice immediately before serving. The vitamin C in lemon juice can dramatically increase the absorption of spinach's non-heme iron by up to 400%, making this mineral far more accessible for your body to utilize in oxygen transport to muscle cells. Timing, once again, plays a pivotal role. The study participants who consumed their cooked spinach within the first hour of waking experienced 23% better muscle protein synthesis markers compared to those who ate the same amount later in the day, such as at dinner. If the thought of plain sautéed spinach first thing in the morning isn't appealing, get creative. Mix it into scrambled eggs or an omelet, or blend it seamlessly into a morning smoothie with fruit and a protein source like Greek yogurt. The goal is to consistently get those